Zoete omnes, greetings from in front of the Colosseum. You can see here the different levels of the Colosseum. Notice here on the first floor that they used Doric columns. On the second floor, Ionic columns. And on the third floor, Corinthian columns. In each of these arches, by the way, when you have a row of arches, it's called an arcade. Inside each of the arches would have been another sculpture, if you can believe that. So it's kind of fun to greet you from the Colosseum. We can read or we can learn a little bit more about that. And today we're going to be translating page 141, part 2. Page 141, part 2 of Astrologus Victor. Astrologus Victor, which means the conquering astrologer. So you have a good idea of what it might be, the conquering astrologer, Astrologus Victor. And we'll just see if that's a good thing or a bad thing for our friend Barbilus. You'll be responsible for translating the final 7 lines, lines 14 through 21. And let's get rolling, folks. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. All right, here we go. And we're going to go ahead and annotate. I enjoy annotation. I think you'll like it too. Postridae Astrologus. So postridae, anytime you see DA, see DA there? D-I-E. I suppose it looks terrible in English, but in Latin it means day. And postridae means on the next day. So on the next day, the astrologer, irrupit in cubiculum, he burst in to the bedroom of the domini, of the master. Clamon! So he bursts in and he's yelling, Domine! Domine! Tibi nuntium optimum ferro! Oh man, wow, I bet he's so excited. Also, the master is basically knocked out right now, so he's probably not that excited. But he does say, Master, I ferro, nuntium optimum, the best, the optimum news to you. I bring that to you. Possum. Why'd the possum cross the road? Zoe, why'd the possum cross the road? Because he was able, possum. I am able, possum, to sanare te, to heal you. I'm able to heal you. The astrologer says, oh, do we believe him, astute readers? Who knows? Dea Isis, the goddess Isis, quae preces mea semper audit, who always hears my prayers. I hope you saw the order we went in there. Okay, so it goes Dea Isis, the goddess Isis, who, there's number 1. Number 2, always. Number 3, hears. Number 4, my. And number 5, preces. So you can see the actual order is 1, 5, 4, 2, 3. Okay, so the goddess Isis, who always hears my prayers. What happened? All right, what happened? Well, she sent to me a somnium. Somnambulation. Do you guys know what somnambulation means? It means sleepwalking, somnambulation. And notice here we have somnium and ambulabum, right there next to each other. Somnambulation, meaning sleepwalking. Here, of course, those two things are separated. Somnium actually means a dream in this case. She sent me a dream at night. In the somnio, in the dream, I was ambulating. I was walking through the weos of the city of Alexandria. So I was walking through the streets of Alexandria. Subito, suddenly I saw a boy standing in the road. Suddenly I saw a boy standing in the road. And the boy was your slave, whom the Egyptians killed in the riot. Okay, so hopefully you guys saw how that worked. He narrated, there's word 1, he narrated to me, he told me, word 3 here, day, about the most exquisite medicine, the most exquisite or the most special ointment. So notice that order goes 2, 3, 5, 4, 1, a particular sentence. Barbilus, when he heard this, what did he do? He trotted it, okay? He trotted it. He handed himself completely over to the astrologer. In other words, he trusted the astrologer completely. Okay, that guy, therefore, after he sort of made up, I don't know if you've ever been to the pharmacy and you see them sort of mixing all the things together and, you know, like regular alchemists, they're sort of mashing things together and putting it all in one place. That's what he's doing here. He mashed up the medicine. Then what did he do? He opened up the umerum of the Domini. He opened up the shoulder of the master. And so the shoulder of the master was presumably healing somewhat. It's not anymore. He's opened it up. And he unxited, he anointed, he smeared that medicine on it. But the medicamentum of the astrologer was actually the pessimum. Guys, it was not the optimum. Notice up here we've got optimum, down here we've got pessimum. Those are opposites. They're not equal. All right? So we've got the optimum and the pessimum. It's actually the worst. This medicine was the worst. What did it do to the wound of Barbilus? The wound of Barbilus grew worse. It ingrave scabat. It grew worse. Oh no. The astrologer, when he sensed this, when he sort of realized this, what did he do? Didn't stick around. He fled from the house perteritus. Perteritus. That doesn't just mean terrified, it means completely terrified. Completely terrified. Remember the word per means through, which means that if you're terrified all the way through, you're completely terrified. That's why perteritus means completely terrified. Barbilus then, despairing about his very life, despairing about his vita, what did he do? He summoned me to his bedroom, and here is where your part starts, folks. So you're going to start here at mi quinte inquit, in aurum susurrans, noli lacrimare moriturus sum, id plane intellego, necesse est, omnibus mortem obire, hoc unum ad te postulo. I'm asking hoc unum from you. Okay, how many things? How many things? I'm asking this unum from you. Quaere filium meum in Britannia. So quaere, look for filium meum in Britannia. Oh my goodness. I think we have a hint as to where Quintus might go next in Britannia. Refere hanc epistulam. So notice this epistulam. There's an epistulam here down at the bottom. You can see it. Let's see here if I can do some more annotating. Yep, looks like I'm going to be able to. Notice we've got an epistulam right here. We know the word epistle from the epistles of Paul. And this here is an epistulam, an ancient epistulam, of course. And then he says, ubi rufum e villa expuli iratus e magnam injuriam intuli. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Nunc tandem veniam a rufo peto. Okay, veniam, of course. Forgiveness, mercy. Ubi hoc audivi patronum arcesere volebam, sed Barbilus obstinatus recusabat. Arcesivi tamen illum, sed ubi advenit, Barbilus jam mortuus erat, mortuus erat. This is what we feared all along, that if the astrologers were victorious, Barbilus jam mortuus erat. That's what I need you to translate. The last words of book 2, the very last words of book 2 in Latin. I need you to translate those for me, please. We do have a hint of what's to come. Barbilus will no longer be, I'm sorry, Quintus. Well, I'm sorry. We actually know where Quintus already is. We know sort of what he's doing. and where he is, of course, in Britannia. But now we know why he's come to Britannia from Alexandria, right? So that sort of gives us a hint about that. We know what's happened to Barbilus now. We've got some of the story tied up, and we're going to start to do some projects now. So starting next week, you'll do some projects in class, and you'll have a chance to recreate some pretty neat artifacts here. So start to get those creative juices flowing. Start to think about painting or sculpting or firing some Play-Doh, firing some pottery, or I know Hobby Lobby's closed, so you're gonna have to be more creative than Hobby Lobby. So I'll just put that there kind of as a little start to think creatively. And with that in mind, folks, congratulations. As soon as you finish this translation, you've finished book 2. Gratulationes, vobis, Estes. Gratulationes. All right. And for now, though, folks, from the Colosseum, over and out, Pax Vobis Cum.